Scroll through TikTok right now and you'll see something nobody predicted. White kids from Ohio reciting the Shahada, black kids from Atlanta wearing kuffis, college students trading parties for prayer mats. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the West, and it's not immigration driving it, it's conversion. Young people, Gen Z specifically, are choosing Islam at rates that shock researchers. In the UK, converts to Islam outnumber converts to all other religions combined. In the US, mosques report more young converts in the last 3 years than the previous 30. So what changed? Why are the children of the war on terror converting to the religion their parents feared? The answer reveals something profound about what this generation is actually searching for. Let's start with the visible catalyst, Andrew Tate. When Tate converted to Islam in 2022, something shifted. Suddenly, Islam had a spokesperson who spoke the language of young men: masculinity, power, discipline, structure. Tate didn't frame Islam as needing sympathy. He presented it as strength, as the religion of men who don't apologize, who know their purpose. Millions listened. Shahada videos spiked, but Tate's a symptom, not the cause. He revealed a hunger that was already there. Here's what nobody's saying. Gen Z, specifically Gen Z men, feel lost. They've been raised in a culture that tells them masculinity is toxic, that strength is aggression, that certainty is ignorance. They don't know what they're supposed to be anymore. The old models, provider, protector, are called outdated. The new models don't feel like models at all. They feel like the absence of models. Into this vacuum, Islam offers something clear, a direct answer. Islam tells young men exactly what a man is: protector, provider, leader, disciplined. There's no ambiguity. No, it depends. Just clarity. And for a generation drowning in relativism, clarity is oxygen. Compare that to modern Western religion and culture. Everything's been softened, every hard edge removed. Hell is metaphorical. Sign is trauma. Judgment is toxic. The result is belief systems that don't demand anything, that say you're perfect as you are and stop there. No call to transformation, no challenge, just validation. And Gen Z doesn't need more validation. They get that everywhere. Social media validates them. Therapy, culture validates them. What they need is something bigger than themselves, something that demands they become better. Islam provides that. 5 prayers daily, fasting, modesty, sexual restraint, charity obligations. It's hard. It requires discipline, and that's the appeal. There's also the intellectual component. Islam presents itself as rational, logical, evidence-based. Watch convert stories. The pattern repeats. I was atheist. I studied religions. Islam made the most sense. There's an apologetics industry around this. Debates, lectures, content, breaking down claims of logical consistency. Compare that to how religion is often presented now. Just have faith. Don't question. Neither satisfies someone actually seeking. Islam says, examine the evidence. Use your reason. Whether those arguments hold is debatable, but the posture is different. It treats seekers as intellectual equals. Then there's community. Islam builds it by design. 5 daily prayers, preferably in congregation. Friday prayer, mandatory. Ramadan, Eid. The structure creates constant social bonding. You can't be an isolated Muslim. The religion prevents it. Now look at modern Western life. Atomized, individualistic. People surrounded by millions, knowing nobody. Social connection is optional. Most are opting out. Islam makes it not optional. Convert to Islam, you instantly have brotherhood. A community that checks on you, feeds you, supports you. Islam offers what humans have always needed: belonging. Automatic, by virtue of faith. Now the gender question. Islam has strict gender roles. Women covering traditional family structures. Shouldn't this repel young people? But women are converting to why? Common themes emerge. Protection from objectification. They're tired of being sexualized. Their value tied to appearance. Hijab becomes liberation from that. Structure in relationships. Modern dating is chaos. Ghosting, hookup culture, endless options, no commitment. Islam prescribes courtship toward marriage. Intention from the start. Seriousness. For those exhausted by modern dating, this appeals. Purpose beyond career. Western culture said you can have it all. The reality. Burnout. Islam offers a different model. For some, especially after years of grinding, leaving them empty. That resonates. There's also aesthetic and countercultural appeal. Islam feels culturally rich. Mosques are beautiful. Call to prayer is haunting. Arabic calligraphy is art. The celebrations, the fashion, the food, it has weight. Islam also has rebel appeal. It's countercultural. In a secular hedonistic society, being Muslim sets you apart. You're not following the crowd, you're making a statement. For Gen Z, which values authenticity, that matters. The political angle is complex but real. For some on the left, Islam represents resistance to imperialism, to colonialism, to Western hegemony. There's a romantic notion of Islam as the religion of the oppressed. For some on the right, Islam is attractive as uncorrupted by liberalism, as holding firm on gender, sexuality, family. They respect that it hasn't bent to modernity. Let's look at data. UK studies show Islam is fastest growing by conversion. British mosques in 2023 reported 400% increase in Shahada requests versus 2019. Majority, under 30 US mosques report similar trends. Converts cite search for meaning, structure, and community. Pew Research confirms Gen Z less religious overall, but those choosing religion are more likely to choose Islam. Social media analysis shows Islamic content has massive engagement. Searches for how to convert to Islam tripled since 2020. TikTok hashtag revert to Islam has billions of views. This is documented. But let's be clear, this doesn't mean Islam is taking over. Most Gen Z is still secular, atheist, agnostic, or indifferent. What's significant? Among those converting, Islam is disproportionately represented. The competition isn't Islam versus other religions. It's meaning versus nihilism. And Islam is winning that fight among a specific subset. What does this tell us? Several things. First, the death of religion was overstated. Gen Z isn't irreligious because they hate religion. They're irreligious because modern options stopped offering what religion is supposed to offer: meaning, purpose, community, structure, transcendence. Second, relativism has limits. You can only say everything is valid before people crave something absolute. Third, humans need challenge to be tested, to sacrifice. Modern life removed that. Any system that brings it back will attract people. Fourth, community is non-negotiable. Atomization is killing us. What happens next? This could be genuine religious revival, or a phase. Conversion is one thing, retention is another. 5 daily prayers is hard. Lifelong commitment is hard. How many stick with it? We'll see. What's certain? The trend reveals a hole, a spiritual hole that secularism promised to fill and didn't. Gen Z was raised in the most materially comfortable, technologically advanced era in history, and they're miserable, lonely, anxious, purposeless. We live in a moment of profound spiritual hunger. The West tried to build society without transcendence, without sacrifice, based on individualism and materialism. For a while it looked like it worked, but Gen Z is the first generation raised entirely in that world, and some are rejecting it. Some turning to Islam, others to different paths. The form varies, but the need is constant. Humans need something bigger than themselves, something worth suffering for, something that demands their best. Modernity tried to free us from that, told us we could be happy pursuing pleasure and comfort. Gen Z is discovering that was incomplete. So when you see a young person converting on TikTok, don't just see conversion, see a rejection of meaninglessness, of nihilism, of spiritual emptiness that modernity promised would be freedom but turned out to be a cage. Whether this path is the answer or just one stop on a longer journey, the question has been asked. What are we willing to commit to? What's bigger than us? What demands our sacrifice? What gives life meaning? Gen Z was told the answer was nothing, that they could define everything themselves, that freedom meant no constraints. They tried it, and now, thousands are looking for something to submit to. That should tell us something, not about any specific religion, but about the human soul, and what it actually needs to survive.